That's a devotee and with Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shamarasika Devidasika, Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dharma Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the call, Mataji. Anyone else who would like to announce? So I've started the recording. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate. We have our Grace Amrita Madhavi Devidasi Mataji from Bengaluru, India. And Mataji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, and verse 46 onwards. Hare Krishna Mataji. You may take over the call when you're ready.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Now, I thought the verse number was 37th, 9th chapter. Verse number, is it 46? I thought
Yes, Mataji. I think the one in the message, it was like probably a mistake. I saw somewhere like 36 or something.
36, I thought
Yeah,
so too.
it is
Okay,
46.
must check. 46, sure, no, Prabhu? Okay,
Yes.
then I'll start with 46th verse. Okay, fine. Let me pray first.
I think 46, yeah.
I must
have gone wrong in recollecting which number. So if it is 46, then fine.
Hare Krishna, I
somebody's
request
phone
our
is,
devotees,
somebody's
please keep your phone on mute.
Yeah, I made her mute. Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, now let us pray. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namini Namaha Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakatha Damadaya Nagara Grama Tarini Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yatkripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Yes, so Canto 7, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 9, text number 46. Maunavrita Shruta Tapodhya Yana Swadharma Vyakhya Raho Japa Samadhaya Apavargyaha Praya Param Purusha Tetva Ajitendriyanam Varta Bhavantyutana Vatratu Dambhikanam. So, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 46, translation. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are 10 prescribed methods on the path to liberation. To remain silent, not to speak to anyone, to observe vows, to amass all kinds of Vedic knowledge, to undergo austerities, to study the Vedas and other Vedic literatures, to execute the duties of Varnashram Dharma, to explain the Shastras, to stay in a solitary place, to chant mantras silently, and to be absorbed in trance. These different methods for liberation are generally only a professional practice and means of livelihood for those who have not conquered their senses. Because such persons are falsely proud, these procedures may not be successful. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. As stated in Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1, verse number 15, Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayanaha agam dhunvanti kartris karsneya karsni karsniyena niharam iva bhaskaraha, means only a rare person who has adopted complete unalloyed devotional service to Krishna can uproot the weeds of sinful actions with no possibility that they will revive. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, just as the sun can immediately dissipate fog by its rays. The real purpose of human life is to attain liberation from material entanglement. Such liberation may be achieved by many methods. Tapasa brahmacharyena, shamena cha damena cha. But all of them more or less depend on tapasya, austerity, which begins with celibacy. Shukadeva Goswami says that those who are Vasudeva Parayana, who have fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, automatically achieve the results of Mauna or silence, Vrata or vows, and other such methods simply by discharging devotional service. In other words, these methods are not so powerful. If one takes to devotional service, all of them are very easily performed. Mauna, for example, does not mean that one should just stop speaking. The tongue is meant for speaking, although sometimes, to make a big show, a person remains silent. There are many who observe silence some day in a week. Vaishnavas, however, do not observe such silence. Silence means not speaking foolishly. Speakers at assemblies, conferences, and meetings generally speak foolishly like toads. This is described by Srila Rupa Goswami as Vacho Vegam. One who wants to say something can show himself to be a big orator, but rather than go on speaking nonsense, better to remain silent. This method of silence, therefore, is recommended for persons very attached to speaking nonsense. One who is not a devotee must speak nonsensically because he does not have the power to speak about the glories of Krishna. Thus, whatever he says is influenced by the illusory energy and is compared to the croaking of a frog. One who speaks about the glories of the Lord, however, has no need to be silent. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends Kirtaniya Sadaharihi. One should go on chanting the glories of the Lord 24 hours a day. There's no question of becoming mauna or silent. The 10 processes for liberation or improvement on the path of liberation are not meant for devotees. Kevalaya bhaktya. If one simply engages in devotional service to the Lord, all 10 methods of liberation are automatically observed. Prahlad Maharaja's proposal is that such processes may be recommended for the Ajitendriya, those who cannot conquer the senses. Devotees, however, have already conquered their senses. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. A devotee already freed from material contamination. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura therefore said, Dushtamana, tumi kisera Vaishnava? Pratishtara tare nirjanera ghare tava harinama kevala kaitava. Means there are many who like to chant Hare Krishna mantra in a silent, solitary place. But if one is not interested in preaching, talking constantly to the non-devotees, the influence of modes of nature is very difficult to surpass. Therefore, unless one is extremely advanced in Krishna consciousness, one should not imitate Haridas Thakura, who had no other business than chanting the holy names always, 24 hours a day. Prahlad Maharaj does not condemn such a process. He accepts it, but without active service to the Lord, simply by such methods, one generally cannot attain liberation. One cannot attain liberation simply by false pride. So here here we understand that doing devotional service is the essence. In what way and how? Because simply by doing devotional service, we attain the benefits of all other practices that actually are meant to lead to devotional service. I repeat, doing devotional service is the essence. How and why? Because devotional service gives the benefit of all the other practices followed by the jnanis to attain God. Whatever practices they do to attain God, the end result, what they want by those practices, that is easily attained by bhakti. For example, the jnanis may want to follow silence, the method of silence, because they want to focus on the formless feature of the Lord. They want to think of Brahman or whatever. They are at the level of understanding absolute truth only as Brahman. So if they want to attain Brahman, the practice they do of silence is because they don't want to talk nonsense and add nonsense to their mind. To talk nonsense, we need our mind to think on those lines, and then it comes out as speech. And what comes out as speech again creates impressions in our consciousness. So to avoid this, thinking nonsense, speaking nonsense, creating nonsensical impressions, to avoid that, what we say is just sing Harinam Kirtan with the devotees. Just sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just sing that in the presence of devotees loudly, focusing on the tune, focusing on the pronunciation. Just sing loud. Then what happens at that time? Nonsensical thought is not there because we're thinking of focusing on the holy names, paying attention to the tune, and we're trying to repeat the tune. That's why nonsensical thought is not there, and therefore only Harinam thoughts are there, and Harinam is coming out as our speech, and Harinam is creating an impression in our consciousness. So this is the way actually, we have to do devotional service, then automatically all the effects of practices followed by the jnana yogis is attained by bhakti yogis. This is what is explained. So Prabhupada initially says that it is, see, only a rare person who has who has adopted bhakti is a very rare person. Only a rare person who has adopted complete unalloyed devotional service to Krishna can uproot. So first of all, devotional service is the rarest, and a person who practices devotional service is also the rare person. And but such a person can uproot the weeds of sinful reactions with no possibility that they will revive. So a devotee or a bhakti practitioner, he can actually practice devotional service and dive and get absorbed in devotional service to that extent that all the desires to sin is also burnt to ashes, that even those desires don't harm us. For example, when I was not married, I used to love eating raw onions, and I used to love to get the bagar of garlic in some items. And I used to love the taste of garlic also. But once I came to know that Krishna does not accept it, and we must feed Krishna and then eat. And eating only Krishna Prasad is the only way to go back to Godhead, because tongue control comes first. If you control your tongue, then automatically the belly comes under control, and the mind comes under control, anger comes under control, and even the tendency to have sex life also comes under control, means genitals come under control. So now, if by controlling the tongue, if we can control everything else, and if we can go back to Godhead, then control the tongue only by eating prasad, and how much prasad to eat. Don't overeat prasad. then you will not have belly control and genital control. So you have to eat only as much as required. And when I started practicing eating only as much as required or even lesser, and I was told by an Ayurvedic doctor that if you avoid eating after sunset completely, the vata in your body, means the tendency for the generation of gas will be reduced. And that is what the vata itself is mainly this mostly the cause of headaches. So I felt I keep getting headaches. So maybe I should try. So I stopped eating now from few days, not even 1 week maybe, or maybe just 1 week almost. I don't know, 3, 4 days or 5 days. And I am actually having a lighter body with no headaches. So you see, when we do things like we are eating only Krishna Prasad, but how much to eat? Only eat up till sunset. Don't eat beyond sunset. In how much means eat as much as you can digest within the sunset. After that, it's all right even if you starve. And I also saw a video, WhatsApp video, which said that people who have diseases like thyroid or I think even cancer, if I'm not mistaken, many things, it gets cured if you don't eat after sunset. So if you don't eat after sunset, because why? Because the digestion fire at night is lesser. So when the things don't get digested due to indigestion only, many desires will come up in the body. So that is why it's very important that we keep the stomach intact. How we can keep the stomach intact? By controlling our tongue. So by controlling our tongue with first of all with Krishna Prasad, no alcohol, no meat, then so many health hazards are cut off because we don't take alcohol, we don't smoke, right? So our health is so much good with Krishna Prasad. But even Krishna Prasad, how much to eat? Is eat only up till sunset. So which means if you eat once lunch and dinner should be before sunset. So if you just do that and you wait for breakfast till 8:30, 9 or whatever time, then you will see your health also improves. So like this, you see, when we start doing things, to keep belly under control, we control the tongue. We are following the instructions from Nectar of Instructions book. Control the tongue and thus control everything else. So when we follow this bhakti yoga, then automatically we get the benefit of all the good. Like for example, here it is said in the translation that, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are 10 prescribed methods to the path of liberation. Means the Jnana Yogis follow this. To remain silent, that I told you, not to speak to anyone. To be silent means not to speak to anyone. It's same thing. To observe vows, to amass all kinds of Vedic knowledge. It is told that simply by chanting the holy names, all the Vedic imports will be revealed to us. We get realizations when we start doing devotional service to Krishna. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. What is the purpose of all Vedas? The purpose of all Vedas is I am to be known. If you have to know Krishna, means the purpose, if you really know Vedas, that means you know Krishna. Because the essence of Vedas is Krishna. The purpose of knowing Vedas is to know Krishna. Suppose if the whole Vedic purpose is to know Krishna, but Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. If you really want to know Krishna, you should do Bhakti Yoga. So you see, to amass all kinds of Vedic knowledge, what Jnana Yogis are doing, simply by doing devotional service, we can know Krishna. So we get the benefit of studying all the Vedic literatures simply by indulging in devotional services to Krishna. Then, to execute the duties of Varnashrama Dharma. It is told that if you do Varnashrama Dharma, if it does not bring you to Krishna Bhakti, it is a useless endeavor. Shrama evahi kevalam. One of the Bhagavatam first canto verses says, Shrama evahi kevalam. If you are doing Varnashrama Dharma and you are not attained Bhakti, then it is whatever duties you are doing is Shrama eva kevalam. So they are doing Varnashrama Dharma. Why? To attain liberation. So, but we do bhakti. So purpose of Varnashram Dharma is to bring us to the point of bhakti, and we are already doing bhakti. So we have got the purpose. So like this, if you see that the whole purport says that simply do bhakti and get the benefit of everything. So this is what I have understood. It also lastly it tells that we should unless one is extremely advanced in Krishna consciousness, one should not imitate Haridas Thakura, who had no other business other than chanting holy names. Prahlad Maharaj does not condemn such a process. He accepts it, but without active service to the Lord, simply by such methods, one generally cannot attain liberation. Means here it's also told that a devotee should not, try to imitate and stay in a solitary place in the name of chanting, because then the person can fall down. If you see our Bharata Maharaj went to a solitary place to do devotional service, but without association, he fell down and he became a deer. So, if we are at the level of Haridas Thakura, then it's all right. But otherwise, we have to be in association of devotees and we have to do devotional service. This is my understanding. See, if you see, um, um, Prahlad Maharaj's proposal. So, Kevala Bhakti means if one simply engages in devotional service to the Lord, all 10 methods of liberation are automatically observed. Prahlad Maharaj's proposal is that such process may be recommended for the Ajitendriya, those who cannot conquer the senses. For those who cannot conquer the senses, then they say you at least be silent. You are all the time talking nonsense, so at least you practice a little bit of silence. For them, it's all right. But for those who are doing devotional service, we should not tell them to be silent, because we should tell them to keep talking about Krishna. I was told, my teacher of Bhakti Shastra, first teacher, His Grace Sarvajna Krishna Das Prabhu. To him, I told, Prabhu, you told that we should not do prajalpa, talking anything, which is not connected to Krishna. So, Prabhu, but I am very talkative person. How I will control my tongue? So he said, okay, Mataji, if you are into talking, you talk only about Krishna. Oh, I can talk all the time about Krishna. Yes, you talk only about Krishna. That is as good as not doing any other talk. That's all right, Mataji. You don't have to stop talking. He told me like that. That was the first time. It was very interesting for me. Okay, I can still keep talking, but it should be about Krishna. So for devotees who have the habit of talking about Krishna, for them we should never say be quiet. We have to tell that to those who are talking, croaking like a frog. Because frog, now why frog example is given? Why they don't say buzzing like a mosquito? Because easily mosquitoes are not killed by any animal, except those who just beat it up. Generally the mosquitoes escape very nicely from all other living entities. But frogs, by sitting in one place and croaking, they give hints to the snake to come and eat them. So they are only increasing their danger by talking. To say that, it is told that we are also croaking like a frog when we talk about anything other than Krishna. When we talk about anything other than Krishna, we are croaking like a frog, because we are losing the precious human form of life and the chance to go back to God. We are losing by talking. We are only getting closer to our snake-like death. So we are losing the golden opportunity of going back to God. That's why if you're going to speak about Krishna. So that Prahlad Maharaj says, even if you want to be silent, then it is okay only for those who can't do bhakti, who are only materialists. For them you can tell, it's not for devotees. Devotees, however, have already conquered their senses. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam. A devotee is already freed from material contamination. So then Prabhupada also quotes Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura's statement and says that there are many who like to chant Hare Krishna in a solitary place, silent solitary place. But if one is not interested in preaching, talking constantly to non-devotees, the influence of modes of nature is very difficult to surpass. Why we should not be alone and chant in a solitary place? Because without the association of devotees, we may end up falling because of the three modes of nature, because of Maya. That's why. So the whole purport is saying that you have to be in association of devotees and do bhakti. If you are in the association of devotees and if you are doing bhakti, then you will get the benefits of all the practices followed by Ashtanga yogis or the jnanis. The next verse. Canto 7, chapter 9, text 47. रूपे इमे सदसति तव वेद सृष्टे बीजाङ्कुराविभन चान्यदरूपकास्य युक्ता समक्षमुभयत्र विचक्षन्ते त्वाम् योगेन वह्निमिव दारुषु नान्यथा स्यात्. So, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 47, Translation. By authorized Vedic knowledge, one can see that the forms of cause and effect in the cosmic manifestation belong to Supreme Personality of Godhead, for the cosmic manifestation is his energy. Both cause and effect are nothing but energies of the Lord. Therefore, O my Lord, just as a wise man, by considering cause and effect, can see how fire pervades wood, those engaged in devotional service understand how you are both cause and effect. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. As described in the previous verses, many so-called students of spiritual understanding follow the 10 different methods known as Mauna Vrata Shruta Tapodhyayana Swadharma Vyakhyaya Raho Japa Samadhaya. Means this is the same previous verse is quoted here. These may be very attractive, but by following such methods, one cannot actually understand the real cause and effect of the original cause of everything. Janmadyasya yataha. The original source of everything is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Sarva Karana Karanam. The original source of everything is Krishna, the Supreme Ruler. Ishwaraha Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. He has his eternal spiritual form. Indeed, he is the root of everything. Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. Whatever manifestations exist, their cause is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This cannot be understood by so-called silence or by any other hodgepodge method. The supreme cause can be understood only by devotional service. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Elsewhere in Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 11, Chapter 14, Text 21, Supreme Personality of Godhead says, Bhaktyaham Ekaya Grahya means one can understand the original cause of all causes, the Supreme Person, only by devotional service, not by show bottle exhibitionism. This what the silence rule and things like that. It is like we are showing off. Oh, so many days we sometimes go to a great person and he's wearing a white cloth on his this and we ask, oh, he's silent. Yeah, he's 15 days he will be silent. And you feel, oh, great. It's like Prabhupada is calling it as we feel they're great, but it is just to make you feel great. It's that much only if beneficial. Because the real benefit is not in being silenced, real benefit is in speaking about Krishna. Why? Because Krishna is the cause of all causes, and if you want to understand Krishna, you have to do Bhakti Yoga. Bhaktya Mama Bijanati. And Prabhupada also refers Bhaktyaham Ekaya Grahya, means one can understand the original cause of all causes, Krishna, the Supreme Person, only by devotional service. So it's very clear. If you will do bhakti, then you can understand Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying that this particular method of silence and what is that? You see, silence to amass all kinds of Vedic knowledge, to undergo austerities, to study Vedas and other literatures, to execute Varnashram Dharma. This all look on to observe vows, not speak to anyone. This all look like great, very attractive. It may look like very attractive, but with that, we cannot understand the cause of all causes. Who is the cause of all causes? Krishna. We cannot understand um, the real cause and effect, the original cause of everything. That is, who is the original cause for everything? That is Krishna. You cannot understand. Then how do you understand? Only bhaktya mam ambijanati. Only through bhakti one can understand. Then we go to the next verse. Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 48. Tvam vayuragniravaniर्वियदम्बुमात्रा प्राणेन्द्रियाणि हृदयं चिदनगृहश्च अनुग्रहश्च सर्वं त्वमेव सगुणो विगुणश्च भूमन् नान्यत्वदस्त्यपि मनोवचसा निरुक्तम्. Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 48, Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O Supreme Lord, you are actually the air, the earth, the fire, sky, and water. You are the objects of sense perception, the life affairs, the five senses, the mind, consciousness, and false ego. Indeed, you are everything subtle and gross, the material elements and anything expressed either by the words or by the mind, and nothing but are sorry. Um, you are everything subtle and gross, the material elements and anything expressed either by the words or by the mind are nothing but you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is the all-pervasive conception of Supreme Personality of Godhead, which explains how he spreads everywhere and anywhere. Sarvam Klam Idam Brahma. Everything is Brahman, the Supreme Brahman Krishna. Nothing exists without him. As Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 9.4, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matstani sarva bhutani na chaham teshva vastita. Means I exist everywhere and everything exists in me. Yet I am not visible anywhere. The Lord can be visible only through devotional service. Tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti mad bhakta. Means Supreme Lord stays only where his devotees chant his glories. I only remember the Chatushloki Bhagavatam again and again, through his wordings. See, just now we said he is the cause of all causes, and now we are saying that Krishna is, I exist everywhere. Means Krishna exists everywhere, and everything exists in me. Krishna is there everywhere, but everything is there inside him. Yet I am not visible everywhere. So these are the things which is there even in our Chatushloki Bhagavatam, that I am inside everything. When he says I am inside everything, he's there inside all of us as Paramatma. And he says, yet I am outside everything. He's in outside as in Golok Vrindavana. In his Loka, he is existing. And when he says I am inside, inside means inside everyone, Krishna is there, either as Bhagavan also, if they are devotees, and when he wants to see them, he comes outside and physically he meets them, but from inside he guides them. From inside he talks to them. But for those who are not pure devotees, inside them he is there in the form of earth, water, fire, ether, air, etc. As the energies, as the external energy of himself. External energy of himself is also him only. And so he's there around every soul in that form. So in the materialist, he's there in the form of his material energy and as Paramatma. And in the devotees, he's there as Bhagavan himself, inside their heart, talking to them, and outside their heart as Bhagavan, he is visible to them and he keeps communicating with them. So this is what, and so it's very difficult to understand it, how he's inside us and outside. That's why here the translation says, "O Supreme Lord, you are actually the air, earth, fire, sky, water. You are the objects of sense perception, the life, air, five senses, the mind, consciousness, possible. Indeed, you are everything, subtle and gross. The material elements and anything expressed either by words or by the mind are nothing but you." So, material elements are you, means this body, made of earth, water, ether, fire, air. That's also Krishna's material energy. So, that's also him only. Like sun and sun's light are sun only. So, me and my energy are me only in that sense. Krishna and his energy are he only. Like that it is explained. Then I think we can today stop here if the time is 6:25. Okay, we still have time. Okay. So Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 49. Naite gunana gunino mahadadayo ye sarve mana prabhrutaya sahadeva martyaha आद्यन्तवन्तौरुगाय विदन्ति विदन्ति त्वाम् एवं विमृश्य सुधियो विरमन्ति शब्दात्. So, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text number 49, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, neither the three gunas of material nature, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, nor the predominating deities controlling these three modes, nor the five gross elements, nor the mind, nor the demigods, nor the human beings can understand your lordship, for they are all subjected to birth and annihilation. Considering this, the spiritually advanced have taken to devotional service. Such wise men hardly bother with Vedic study. Instead, they engage themselves in practice of devotional service. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. As stated in several places, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Only by devotional service can the Supreme Lord be understood. The intelligent person, the devotee, does not bother much about the practices mentioned in text 46. Mauna, Vrata, Shruta, Tapo, Dhyana, Swadharma. After understanding the Supreme Lord through devotional service, such devotees are no longer interested in studies of the Vedas. After understanding the Supreme Lord through devotional service, such devotees are no longer interested in the studies of Vedas. Indeed, this is confirmed in the Vedas also. The Vedas say, Kimartha Vayam Adyeshyamahe Kimartha Vayam Vakshyamahe. Means, what is the use of studying so many Vedic literatures? What is the use of explaining them in different ways? Vayam Vakshyamahe means no one needs to study any more Vedic literatures, nor does anyone need to describe them by philosophical speculation. Bhagavad Gita 2.52, chapter 2, verse 52 also says, Yadate moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tadagantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. Means, when one understands Supreme Personality of God by executing devotional service, one ceases the practice of studying Vedic literature. Elsewhere it is said, Aradito yadi haris tapasa tatakim. Means, if one can understand Supreme Personality of Godhead and engage in his service, there is no more need of severe austerities, penances, and so on. However, if after performing severe austerities and penances, one does not understand Supreme Lord, such practices are useless. Does not understand Supreme Personality of Godhead, such practices are useless. See, the whole purport, the essence is that the purpose of studying so many scriptures is to understand Krishna, and understanding Krishna happens by bhaktyamam abhijanati, by only doing devotional service. So if you're already doing devotional service, then you need not go back to studying Vedas anymore because you have understood Krishna. Same way it is told, Aradito yadi haris tapasa tatakim. If you have already started doing the Aradhana of Lord Hari, then why do we need to do tapasya? Tapasya should bring us to the point of doing devotional service to Lord Hari. Naradito yadi hari tapasa tatakim. Aradito yadi hari tapasa tatakim. Na aradito yadi hari tapasa tatakim. Means, if you are not going to do devotional service, then what's the use of tapasya? Means tapasya should bring you to the point of devotional service. And if you're already doing devotional service, then what is the need to do tapasya? So tapasya or any austerity should bring us to bhakti. If it is not bringing us to bhakti, it becomes only show bottle exhibitionism. That's what Prabhupada said. So suppose you want to do anything beneficial, then that is bhakti. So all the other austerities should bring us to bhakti. But if you already come to bhakti, then there's no point of doing anything anymore like that. So now we can do one more verse and then maybe stop for question answers. Or maybe two more verses. Okay. So Canto 7, chapter 9, text 50. Tattirhattama namastuti karma puja karma smritis charanayo shravanam kathayam samsevaya tvai vineti sadangaya kim bhaktim jana paramahamsa gataula beta. Means, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, chapter 9, text 50, translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, the best of all persons, to whom prayers are offered, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you, because without rendering 6 kinds of devotional service unto you, offering prayers, dedicating all the results of activities, offering prayers, dedicating all results of activities, worshipping you, working on your behalf, always remembering your lotus feet and hearing about your glories. Who can achieve that which is meant for Paramahamsas? Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 50, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Vedas enjoin Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhyo na Medhayana Bahuna Shrutena means one cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by studying the Vedas and offering prayers. Only by the grace of Supreme Lord can one understand Him. The process of understanding the Lord, therefore, is bhakti. Without bhakti, simply following the Vedic injunctions to understand absolute truth will not be helpful at all. Without bhakti, simply following Vedic injunctions to understand absolute truth will not be helpful at all. The process of bhakti is understood by the Paramahamsa, one who has accepted the essence of everything. The results of bhakti are reserved for such a Paramahamsa. And this stage cannot be obtained by any Vedic process other than devotional service. Other processes such as jnana and yoga can be successful only when mixed with bhakti. When we speak of jnana yoga, karma yoga, and dhyana yoga, the word yoga indicates bhakti. Bhakti yoga or buddhi yoga, executed with intelligence and full knowledge, is the only successful method for going back home, back to Godhead. If one wants to be liberated from the pangs of material existence, he should take to devotional service for quick attainment of his goal. See here, what I understand is that bhakti's benefits are told in different levels. That is, for a person who is an ordinary human, who is having all his anarthas, who is having all his weaknesses, for him, he has his material pangs of sufferings, material miseries are really engulfing him. For him, doing bhakti is going to release him from that. That's what the last sentence is. See, if one wants to be liberated from pangs of material existence, he's not telling if one wants Krishna prema. He didn't say that. He said just liberation from pangs of material existence. Then he should take to devotional service for quick attainment of his goal. What is his goal? To just get liberation from pangs of material attachment. Means he just wants to get rid of papa and punya. So for that you have to do bhakti. So by doing that, first thing is that we get rid of tendency to sin. Then what happens? Then we get Krishna prema, gradually. So then another point here is when we speak of jnana yoga, karma yoga, dhyana yoga, the word yoga indicates bhakti. So you see, everywhere little bit of bhakti is there. You cannot do jnana without bhakti. You cannot do karma. You cannot do jnana yoga without bhakti. You cannot do karma yoga without bhakti, because jnana yoga means you're doing devotion. You're doing jnana only for understanding the Supreme Lord. You're studying Shastras to know the absolute truth as Brahman, at least. If not as Bhagavan, at least as Brahman, you're studying. So you're making a relationship with God to know God at least at one level. So then that becomes also, that's little bit of bhakti is there. To know God is nothing but bhakti. And karma yoga, anyway, you will be cooking, cleaning, everything, but at the end you'll be offering it to Krishna. So again, that much aspect is bhakti only. So both jnana yoga and karma yoga. Yoga means connection with the Supreme. So wherever the word yoga comes, that is connection with the Supreme. So jnana yoga and bhakti yoga both indicates a little bit of bhakti also in it. And bhakti yoga is purely bhakti. So Prabhupada says, even if you want to go back home, back to God, see, if you want relief from the sins and sinning tendencies, you need to do bhakti. But if you want to, and another level is if you want to go back to Godhead, then also you have to do bhakti. Or if you want to understand Supreme Lord, then also you have to do bhakti. So you see, first level is we get rid of sins by doing bhakti. The benefits of bhakti are different levels. And next level is to understand absolute truth by doing bhakti. And after understanding Supreme Lord, what do? We do just devotional service to please the Supreme Lord. So by doing that, simply to please the Lord, knowing that I'm a little tiny soul and trying to serve the super soul and Bhagavan, then what happens? Then we end up going back to Godhead. So at three levels, bhakti helps. Bhakti helps a beginner to come out of sinning tendency. Bhakti helps a mediocre person to understand God by doing bhakti. And bhakti has a top class devotee who is doing bhakti to go back to Godhead. So I see this as different standards, different levels of practice of bhakti. Then, yes, again and again we are seeing that then one point, that process of understanding Lord, therefore, is bhakti. Without bhakti, simply by following Vedic injunctions, one cannot understand. Yes, I cancelled the call. Oh, an urgent call, but that can wait. Yes. Now we have completed up to the 50th verse. We have done Canto 7, Chapter 9, text number 50. Tomorrow's person will continue from text 51. Now, if you have any number of questions and answers, I am available for next half an hour. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I'm open to all questions and comments. Hare Krishna. Grandhara Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Geeta. Thank you very much for this beautiful class. Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, I wanted to ask you about, you said that we cannot, do without sadhu sangat, right? Otherwise, Maya, we get into the clutches of Maya. So, so people who go to the caves and have renounced the world, how, like you said, Dhruv Maharaj, how do they get into the clutches of Maya when they are not around, all these? I just wanted to ask you that. And secondly, Mataji, yeah, thank you, Mataji. And secondly, we cannot do without bhakti, but we also cannot do without jnana, right? We can do bhakti with jnana. We have to know the scriptures also to do some bhakti. Isn't that true? Thank you, Mataji.
I will answer both the questions. If I forget the second question, remind me, Mataji. Don't forget your second question. Nice. Both are very priceless, nice questions, which have been answered by my teachers in the past several times. So I just have to repeat the answer. The first question only I forgot now. First question, Mataji, can you repeat your first question?
How can a person living in the caves get into the clutches of Maya? Like you said, Dhruv Maharaj.
Yes. So the answer is like, our Sita Devi, she was amidst the Rakshasis, but she didn't fall down. She had no association, but she didn't fall down. She didn't become another wife of Ravana. Okay. And answer is Vibhishana, a very nice devotee. He was in the Asadu Sangha. He was in the Asura Sangha. But he did not fall down without association. But there are so many of them who actually have transformed due to association, like Rishi Valmiki. He was a bad, sinful hunter or a looter or whatever. But he became a saint in the association of Narada Muni. Okay, Dhruva Maharaj also, by the association of Narada Muni, he got the strength to do devotional service. See, we take association, but while chanting, we're chanting it, chanting with focus on our japa actually. We may be sometimes sitting with the devotees and chanting. Sometimes we may be sitting at home and chanting, but again we take sadhu sangha. But if we completely cut off from sadhu sangha, like how Sita Devi was completely cut off from sadhu sangha, Vibhishana was completely cut off from sadhu sangha, then there can be dangerous if we are not at the level of Sita Devi, if we are not at the level of Vibhishana. That is the answer that our teacher gave me. Some people, they have great strength that they can manage to survive even without sangha. They don't fall down. Some people, but so many of them, they are in the fallen state and they actually get elevated only in sadhu sangha. They need someone, in whose association they feel motivated and they feel like doing devotional service. And when that someone is not there over a long period of time, again they have a tendency to fall down slowly. But then again, when they get sadhusanga, they again come up. If we see in our life or in any of our friends' lives, we can make out that when we don't keep in touch with some people, they slowly go down in their sadhana. But when we are regularly meeting and doing online sessions and all that, then they are slowly growing up. So sangha is needed in the initial stage, but for someone who has got that great attraction for Krishna consciousness, he or she may survive even without satsanga simply by depending on the holy names. But for not all it happens, because in Prabhupada's life, he had one disciple whom he took to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, when he saw a foreign disciple, he saw Vrindavan and he was so impressed. And Prabhupada told him, now you go and get cement and all that and start the help in construction of temple. He said, but I don't want to deal with cement and everything, Prabhupada. I want to go, see, chant only 64 rounds and more and more. I just want to chant. He said, no.
He said,
Now
no.
it is. Huh? Hare Krishna. Okay. I think it was some accidental voice of someone's. So, he said, no, actually, no, I do not want to do this work of construction. I want to chant, Prabhupada. I just want to chant. Prabhupada said that will lead to fall. It can lead to fall down. Something like that. And that fellow went out. He fell down and then he married and then he went out of Krishna consciousness. So, sometimes when we go out to chant in isolation, like that disciple of Prabhupada did, that fellow fell down. This is what I've heard. I do not have the reference of this, but from whomever I heard, this is what I heard. And this is what Prabhupada said in the purport also, that in chanting in isolation is not the beneficial thing. We have to chant in association. Yes, it worked for Haridas Thakura. Prabhupada only says, for Haridas Thakur it worked. It works for some very rare devotees who are so attached to Krishna consciousness, for whom so much mercy also is there. For them it works, but for everybody it does not work. So for the general class of devotees, they actually raise into a better and better standard simply by association. I have seen so many of them in the association of devotees. They have really transformed, really transformed. So for many of them, association is required. For some of them, they have taken so much of association that even without association, they're in a position of giving association. Like Prabhupada himself, he took a lot of his guru's association, and then he went to the West and he was amidst the non-devotee class. That is the class of tamas influenced people, those who were in the mode of ignorance. He was in association of that kind of druggist, in the association of hippies. But what happened in his association? They became happies, right? They became drug free. They became Vaishnavas, free from all kinds of negative things. And they became very nice, wonderful devotees over a period of time, even after the absence of Prabhupada. First, they took association of Prabhupada. I think some other voice is.
Yeah,
let
me put on the mute, Madhavi. Yes, Madhavi, please go ahead.
Okay, yes. And actually, Mataji, I had asked a second question, which, as I said, I forgot.
Yeah,
Gita
Mataji,
Mataji.
the second question was that that without jnana, one cannot do bhakti. Right?
This was my question also to my teachers. So it is told that for bhakti, there is no need of any jnana or karma or anything. Directly, bhakti is what? Simply chant Hare Krishna. You may say that to know that you have to chant Hare Krishna is also knowledge. Now you can say, no, somebody is telling you chant and you are chanting. But simply by chanting, chant attentively. Somebody says, by attentively chanting, and you start getting so much of peace in your heart. And then when you know that holy name is Krishna, then you end up understanding that, okay, and then when you do chanting, knowing it is Krishna, then you get a lot of realizations. So it is told that from bhakti, you compulsorily get jnana and vairagya. You don't need jnana to get deep into bhakti. You simply, under the mercy, it's called as mercy of a devotee who tells you to chant. Just get little mercy to chant the holy name, that's enough. And with that, you get so much, so much more. You start feeling connection with the Lord, and you will go on doing more and more. Then when you know it's Krishna, then for Krishna, you yourself will want to offer something. You yourself will want to give up those which Krishna does not like. You yourself will want to do things which Krishna likes. So you see, means just by chanting, you get the heart to give up the bad things and to take up the right things that pleases Krishna. Means chanting gives birth to jnana and vairagya. You get vairagya from things which you should not do. Means you will end up giving up things which you should not do. Like we may give up smoking, we may give up drinking, we may give up non-veg, like that. and we will take up what is of Krishna's taste, that we will take up not just chanting, but the standards of cleanliness, standards of cooking, what Krishna will eat, eating only prasad, this kind of positive things, and then associating with the devotees. This Krishna likes. So, like that, we get jnana. In Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam only, in first canto, there is a verse which says that, bhakti leads to jnana and vairagya, and I am not able to recollect that verse now, Mataji. In first canto, that verse is there. I hope now that helps you.
Very much. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very, very much. Hare Krishna.
You're most welcome. Second, one more point is that, but by jnana, you don't get vairagya free of cost. You have to artificially try to do vairagya. But by bhakti, when we start doing things what Krishna likes, and when we feel like giving up things which Krishna does not, because we get so much joy by pleasing Krishna, and it's not the joy that that's expected by a selfish person. It's the joy that comes by like a return gift when you give, or for a birthday. They are giving you birthday gifts. They see it as a duty to give you something, but return gift is a new culture. It's not followed everywhere. It's now become a kind of culture. So, but when you give return gifts, some people are very thoughtful in choosing. So, and by giving that, and when they see the smile on the receiver's face, they become so happy. Now, that happiness is not coming because of the selfish desire to be happy. It's coming very selfless, due to their selfless service, that happiness comes as a consequence. Like that, this bhakti to Krishna gives us so much joy as a consequence, as a side effect. The joy comes, and then we become more happy, and we feel like connecting more with Krishna. When we feel like connecting more with Krishna, we feel then I should do more to make him happy. I should do more. Then when we know something is going to reduce our relation with Krishna, then I don't want that. Whatever is reducing, no, I will stop it right now. I don't want to spoil my relation with Krishna. I want to develop it. So like this, you see, automatically vairagya comes from all negative things, and automatically to do the right things, the interest comes. So both jnana and vairagya comes free of cost with bhakti, but from jnana, the bhakti does not take birth, or vairagya does not take birth, and from karma also vairagya does not take birth. Artificially they are suppressing their mind and desires and trying to focus. So at the first opportunity, like Vishwamitra fell down and Menaka came, they are very good at falling down also. But our Haridas Thakura did not fall down, and so also so many ISKCON devotees, after giving up things, then we don't see many of them falling down back to meat eating, back to alcohol and drugs. No, we don't see. Many of them, once given up, is given up. It's quite easy for the bhaktas, but for a jnani to maintain his diet is very difficult. It's very austere. They don't get the nectar of bhakti, and they don't get the benefits that bhakti gives. And bhakti gives, that's why it's told, if you just do bhakti yoga, you get all the benefits that a jnana yogi will get. You get all the benefits that a karma yogi does and Ashtanga yogi does. But Ashtanga yogi or karma yogi or jnana yogi, they don't get all the benefits which bhakti yogi gets. Thank you, Madhavi. Sorry for the lengthy answer.
So Mataji, just to clarify, so the ego also with bhakti nullifies mostly, I mean, comes down, whereas with karma yoga or jnana yoga, sometimes ego elevates, right?
Yes.
Mostly. Is that
Yes.
right?
You are perfectly correct. With the Jnana Yoga, they become very, very egoistic. I have been living only on roots, that too uncooked, raw. I just take raw and I eat. I stop. This is what they feel. Here we say that, even if we end up living in a forest and no facility to cook, we feel how Krishna gave me root. And I offered and I ate. At least Krishna is providing me root. We don't think I am not eating anything. I am eating only. And we repent that, oh Krishna, I am feeding you only this raw, uncooked root. But you are so merciful. You are accepting this also. I don't know how to appreciate you. You are amazing. Like this. If a Jnana Yogi would get only poha, dry poha, he would eat dry poha and say, I am so austere, I can do this. But when Sudama gave dry poha to Krishna, he didn't even want to give. He said, it's such a austere food. You don't eat, you eat such opulent food. But Krishna took it and he relished it. and he still felt I gave him such a poor food, you know. So Bhakti Yogi is in a very humble state of heart, like Sudama, whereas a Jnana Yogi feels, oh, I eat only dry poha, I don't put anything to it. That much austere I am. That ego will come. But for a Bhakti Yogi also, ego does not go fully. It stays in up to bhava level, and in bhava level, when the candidate is really mature in bhava level, Krishna removes the false ego and gives him Krishna prem. Just before giving Krishna prem means just before giving himself to the devotee completely, he removes he before giving himself, he removes this false ego. So that's all. I'm
Thank you,
hearing a lot of
Mataji.
noises.
Yeah.
Yes. No, in my house only I am hearing from the rented house behind me. So it's no problem. I hope you are not getting disturbed. I hope you didn't hear noises. Yes. Anybody has any other questions or comment? You're most welcome.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for this wonderful connected class and the wonderful answer too. So, connecting to this question, I see like a young generation, our kids, my friends' kids who are in Krishna conscious from so many years, and the kids also
Mataji,
in
I could not hear that sentence. Oh, could you repeat?
yes, Mataji. So I see the kids like our friends' kids, my kids, daughters. So they are in Krishna conscious from so many years. They don't want to go outside and get friends with material people also, but and they follow everything at how we following, but they are not connecting with Krishna. Like they do chanting here and there now and then, but not regularly. So because they say that I'm not getting taste so of chanting. So how they can progress in their bhakti, Mataji?
Very
Like they
nice
are,
question, Mataji.
yeah, they are like they are involved in the ISKCON youth retreats, in managing everything, organizing everything, doing kirtan, like that. But they don't want to mingle with outside the friends also because they drink, they eat meat and everything. So they don't like that. But but they are not getting the taste of chanting. So how they can find that thing, Mataji?
Yeah, very nice question, Actually, Mataji, these young people who have been in Krishna consciousness for some time and now they're not finding the taste in it, that's mainly, generally we say an aparad to holy name or to seva aparad or aparad to devotees or aparad to holy name itself can take away some taste. And another thing is, by choice, these young people, they're running after other little things. It could be salary, it could be a better job, it could be higher education, it could be anything of their choice. So it could be shopping, it could be something. So when they prioritize that and they relish that more, they are themselves not voluntarily focusing and chanting. They're diverting their mind on other things. When they divert their mind to many other things while chanting, then they don't get taste. But if they focus, and today I was hearing the holy name being chanted just before the Zoom session. Somebody I don't could not recognize whether it was yourself only or Mataji or someone was chanting very clearly. Very clearly, I felt, this particular Mataji has
Yeah,
got conviction that
that
I
was
have to chant.
Gita
Huh?
Mataji, Mataji. That was Gita Mataji who asked this.
Ah, this particular Mataji has decided that she has to now get everything out of holy name by depending on the holy name. So she's spending so much time and giving, doing very good japa, very good. This Mataji is definitely progressing in a very fast rate. This is what I felt. This Mataji is really progressing. And this Mataji, whoever is chanting, if she continues like this, she will see quick results, quick results, weekly, monthly, not yearly, not at all yearly. In this kind of japa, 16 rounds, if whoever does it, they will see. And this, our children are lacking. They are not having the patience to just give time to holy name and see what they can get out of that. Why? Because they're getting other things easily, like they're getting salary quite easily. They're attached to their salary, or they're attached to their own views, their own choices. So this is why, they're dwelling more on other things, may not be with friends, but they have their own choices. Like once I think one of the parent had told in this call only that the child will say, why should I chant now? I've just come back now. Let me just watch little TV, Means they value other things more than dwelling in the holy name, absorbing in the holy name, because they have never tried it the way that particular Mataji is chanting now. You chant the way that Mataji has chanted, just for 1 week you chant, then you will feel that is far better than bad quality chanting. 1 week a person should chant. One day if you chant, you will be feeling, okay, tomorrow also let me try. So you will not find it so, sorry. Yes, sorry. I have put an app, I have put an app of a battery, and it says that, if my battery goes to 26%, then it starts making a noise to charge. It says, I have enough charge. 26% is enough. I cancelled it. Now it won't make noise. Yes, so what I was telling was, so our other choices, our absorption in other things also, stops us from getting absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And if we see in our own life as devotees, we may chant sometimes very nicely. Sometimes we may feel the need to spend some time in WhatsApp, in talking to someone, in going out, and where we may not be able to chant, also going with some group of people, maybe they're devotees, but they have finished their japa and come, and now they're all talking or something, and we have not finished japa, and they're talking to us only about their worries. And then what will happen to us? Our japa won't be of good quality then at the end if we do it. So like this, sometimes we may prioritize other things more than japa. Then we will see that our taste in japa is, not so good, So it all depends on prioritizing, and for that conviction is required. And for conviction to come, a person has to enter married life, and when there are shocking things happening, because there's a two teething problem in the marriage. Initially, in the first 1 2 3 years, every couple will have their toughest time. For some people, toughest time could be 90% tough. For some people, toughest would be just 20%, because they're already quite elevated, both husband and wife, quite elevated. So they are into adjustment only. So still 10% difficulty they may have. But then later on, they won't have 10% difficulty also, if they're such good match. So, but there will be some difficulty in the initial years of adjustment. At that time, when there's that difficulty, at that time, we end up diving into holy name, because we feel that holy name is my shelter. Till they marry, don't expect them to get that seriousness. I feel, that's also Varnashram Dharma, Brahmacharya, Grahastha. So Brahmacharya, now they have to shift to Grahastha ashram, and there, when they're not able to adjust, and when things don't go according to their plan, and when they're frustrated, automatically they'll end up going to their old time friend Harinam Prabhu, and they depend on Harinam Prabhu, and they get joy and peace from Harinam Prabhu, and they get strength from Harinam Prabhu. Then the taste develops. Then all other priorities go to the side, and only Harinam comes to the front. So this is my understanding, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sangat Pranam, all the Sri Prabhupada.
Dandat Pranam Partha Prabhu. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Please tell.
I joined late, sorry, I couldn't catch up on the early part of the class. The verses are describing about the Lord's universal, kind of similar to universal form, and his material manifestation, which are close to the neophyte devotees or karmis, materialists. Because and I was listening to the questions and answers. They are so nice and so relevant. Your answers are so clear and concise. Just want to add, with your permission, Mataji, that Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita about that the Bhakti Yoga takes within itself Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, everything. And Ashtanga Yoga is at the end of chapter 8. He says, Vedeshu Yagyeshu Tapashu Chaiva Daneshu Atpurna Phalam Pradishtam. Atiridam sarvam viditva yogi stanam paiti chadyam. So Vedeshu, from the Vedas, from the Yagyas, that is Veda means Jnana Yoga. Yagya means karma yoga, that is karma kandi. Tapasya, that is tapasya means Ashtanga yoga.
Austerity.
Yeah, austerity. So through this, whatever is achieved, the bhakti yogi gets the benefit of all these things and still goes higher. So because it helps that if somebody has jnana, because Krishna says tesham jnani nitya yukta eka bhakti visheshti jnana tattamaham chachamam. Yeah. So Krishna likes somebody who comes to him with four types of people come to him, right? Artharthi jnani.
Artharthi jnani.
Yeah. So out of this, he likes the jnani who has come to him. So that is good. I mean, somebody has Gyan, then his progress will be fast. But even if somebody doesn't have Gyan, then also the Bhakti Yoga takes care of it, because he gets the Samabonam, because at the end of all Jnana lies Krishna. That Bahunam Janmanam and the Jnanavan Mam Prapadate. So the Jnanis, the four Kumaras, they were still Ahankari. They were going here and there, unless they smelled the tulsi leaves on the lotus feet of Narayana. They didn't get bhakti. So only after they got bhakti, they got purified. Because that jnana means satagun, satagun means ahankar. That the golden chain is still there. There is still a chain. The gunabadha, he is still a baddha jivi. He is still not liberated. Yeah, that's what one I was thinking of. If you could correct me, Mataji.
No. Nice, Prabhu. I completely accept. You are quoting nicely the Shastras and saying it's all perfect. Yes, Satoguna means Ahankar. You're saying that is in the creation time. From false ego only, the Satoguna aspect becomes something, and the Rajoguna aspect becomes something, and Tamoguna aspect becomes something. So all these gunas have a little tinge of false ego. So false ego cannot be avoided, and it has to be removed by the Lord Himself. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, today's whole topic was that bhakti is enough. You get the benefit of silence, austerity, studying of scriptures, doing Varanashrama. All the benefits that you get from all these things, you get directly by doing bhakti. And to know the Lord, you have to do bhakti. These were the topics that we discussed today, Prabhu. So you were very much in line, though you were not in the class. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, the question was there, why certain people fall down, though they are maybe dissociating from materialistic, because it's that the purification hasn't happened. The anartha nibritti is still not done. So, and as long as anartha nibritti is not done, the taste of the Harinam may not come fully. It will come and go. So only after is the this thing, right? The adostadha, tata sadhu sangha, tata bhajana kriya. So tata anartha nibritti, tata nishtha, ruchi. So after the anartha nibritti comes the nishtha. Nishtha gives rise to ruchi. So ruchi is a little late. I mean, so the anartha nibritti has to be the devotee has to be past anartha nibritti and the nishtha. So in that case, you may see somebody who's saying the taste is not coming and the nishtha is not there first, and the nishtha is not there because anartha is still there. He may be still associating with in the mind. He may not be associating with physically with the mind. He may be associating with materialistic things.
Very nice, Prabhu. Very nice. So from what Partha Prabhu is saying, we understand that it's not that if you marry the child, then they come to direct dependence on the Lord. It's because of the Anartha Nivritti stage. Whether you marry or you don't marry, as long as you're in Anartha Nivritti stage, till you come to the Ruchi state, the children or elders will suffer. This is the point that he's saying, what I understood. From my experience, I'm saying, though I am still finishing the Anartha Nivritti even now, so for me, marriage helped. And for some people, whoever I saw, for everyone, when marriage gives a bigger shock, even in Anartha Nivritti stage, see, there is some Krishna Prema even in the Shraddha stage. There is some Krishna Prema, there is some Ruchi, even in Shraddha stage. That's why they're chanting 16 rounds. I'm saying from that perspective, the little taste that we have, that we think that we have so much and our children have little. Now that from that little in Anartha stage to that little in Anartha means the little in Anartha stage in a married person maybe some 40%. The little taste in Anartha stage in an unmarried young person who is able to enjoy money, job, etc. That may be some 15%. So compared to our 35%, we feel 15% is too little. We know we also have that weak area, but we feel that they are lesser. But for them, if they undergo any other situation like grasthashram, then that pushes them to at least 35-40%. This is my experience, that with what I've seen with others and in my own life that I shared. But as Prabhu said, that real taste comes when you completely complete the Anartha Nivritti and then you go to Nishta and then you go to Ruchi. That time you get your Ruchi. Like that, Prabhu is saying. So good point. Prabhu has got perfect Shastrik. And so I could explain my understanding also. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
All Vaishnava
If it is wrong, you can give me correction.
I'm
Hare
just
Krishna.
all the Vaishnava Marsis, Mataji. I'm actually not qualified without the Vaishnava Marsi.
Anybody has anything to say? Or can we wind up? I don't know if you are hearing a lot of noise, because in my parents' house now, people keep coming and going. The neighborhood parents, this side parent, down, everywhere we have people. Yes, tell me, you have anybody has any questions? I don't know if you are hearing the noise, but I am hearing. Sometimes when there is noise, I speak loudly, but here I can't do that.
Yeah,
We are
Mataji,
not
we are not
hearing.
hearing any noise in the
Okay,
background.
then okay. Only I am hearing.
Mm.
Okay, no problem. Yes. Yes, please. That's why I came up here to avoid the noises. But I am able to hear because it's open here. Yes. Please tell me, anybody else has anything, or can we wind up?
Yeah, thank you, Mataji, for a wonderful class. All these 4-5 verses are very beautiful, very powerful on bhakti. So I will encourage everyone, myself also, read them again and get some realization also. So thank you, Mataji, for wonderful class. Please come again regularly. We enjoy your classes.
How nice. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
All glories to all the blessings of all the Vaishnavas that I have got, that you are able to enjoy the classes which I have learned from wonderful Vaishnavas.
We
Thank
love
you
your
so
classes,
much.
Mataji. We look forward to your classes.
Oh, that's so nice. When you are saying this, now Krishna reminded me of the newest learnings that I have done. Shall I share with you with 3-4 minutes?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes, yes, Mataji.
I will. It's very, very exciting new things that I learned. That is because I started hearing Mayapur TV for morning class. But sometimes when I travel, it becomes difficult for me to do that also. Like now when I'm here, so my schedule is fully gone for a toss. I'm not able to hear from few days, but I was hearing. One point was that I heard that Radharani sees that these devotees are having some negatives in them. She sees the negative, but she says, Krishna, but still they're doing this for you. That's why they're so great. Please accept them. They're better than me. Why? She says, see, they have, say, a person is doing 1% devotional service and 99% is doing only nonsense. But she says that, see Krishna, but he's doing that 1% devotional service. In spite of his inability, 99% inability he has, 99% other tastes he has got. But still, he's still giving that 1%. That's why he's really great, really great. I don't have that all negatives, but I'm doing only this much. This fellow, in spite of all the negatives, he's still doing this much. So it's really a very wonderful devotee. Please give him mercy. So she recommends. So like that, the devotee said, like that we also should develop and inculcate that Radharani's quality. Then I thought, my God, then I should not say that this devotee is good, but they should do like this. I feel, this devotee should surrender. He or she is good, but why they're not surrendering? They should surrender. Then when I get a chance, I tell them, you should surrender. I give them heavy corrections. You should do this, you should do that. But we can tell that, to them for their improvement. But in our heart, we should think, even if they have not surrendered, they're doing this much. No, they don't have the attitude of surrender. Doesn't matter. But you see, still they're doing this much. That's why they are great. So that kind of appreciation, with the eyes of appreciation, we have to see. This one, I am trying and I'm forgetting also. I'm coming back with my old habits, but I'm trying. So that was one thing. And I had decided that I should attend daily morning 8 a.m. class and evening 8 p.m. Guru Maharaj class. This, so that I will be taking good association. This was I was trying, but I did it for quite good number of days. During Kartika, I decided to do that, and it went on till I came to my parents' house, and now I am totally, because my father gives me chances to go and preach here in local places, and he will discuss with me what I will talk, which topic I want to talk. So sometime goes for that only. And my schedule, and we come back home at 8:45 or something. By that time, 8 o'clock class is gone. So something like this happening, and my schedule is gone. But otherwise, I had learned two more points that I'm not able to recollect also, and I was applying and leaving it, and it was such a nice thing. I think it's only that morning 8 a.m., 8 p.m. class added in my life, and plus I decided that I should try to see like Radharani, who says, in spite of their negatives, they're still doing this. So what we should do, Shamrasika Mataji think, in spite of all that, she's still going to the youth program. She's still doing it. That is why it's very nice. She's still not going to the negative association, and she's still, no matter how much she takes rest, but still she's not giving up devotional service. That's why she's very good. So Krishna, please help her. This should be our mood. This is my learning and understanding, that what I recently learned. I had actually learned some things, and we were, Bhakti and I both were following. Now she's not here, she's down. So I'm so sorry. I wanted to share all that. I forgot now, but I think maybe it was this, that I started hearing regularly, apart from my Srimad Bhagavatam studies and apart from chanting. And these days, somehow, when I start doing that, I got too much of Vaishnava Seva. From everywhere, I'm getting, personal counseling related topics, that who are in real need. Uh, so my time is getting spent on that, and I'm literally struggling for time. So I'm not able to attend the two classes, and I wish to be more continuous in that. And actually, I came here for a health checkup also. I I had something extra grown or something, but when doctor checked, it came in her hand and it's gone for a test. So tomorrow the result will come and I will know. So I actually came for a health related matter here to parents' house, and I actually lost track of everything, because sometime went there and so many things took my time, and I totally forgot what learnings I did. I was very happy to share, but just in these 4 days, I forgot so much. So that's why it is told association is important, to keep ourselves in fire and to keep growing. That's also one answer for Geeta Mataji, that why association is required. See, I myself, an example, I was just practicing it so nicely till I came here. But when I came here, I totally am forgetting what learnings I have done. But very soon it will come. Whatever we have endeavored, it will not be lost. The next time I hear again, I'll catch up with more seriousness like that. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Oh, nice to see Chitra Gitan. Dandavat Shamarasika Mataji. Nice to see Chitra Gidwani with the child. Hare
Yes.
Krishna. Yes,
Hare Krishna.
anybody you have any questions, Chitra Mataji?
Mataji, it was similar to that association, because right now where I'm in this state, there's no ISKCON temple. I don't have any personal association. But through Zoom and everything, Krishna is keeping me engaged. So before this, I was in Michigan. So there were big temples, big congregation, thousands of devotees. So now I'm in a place where there's no ISKCON, no personal association. But through Zoom, I'm happy, at least that much I'm connected, Mataji. So, and
Very nice. But don't worry. what I understand, what I tell my friends, devotee friends, is if you are in a good association, and if you have left, if you have been forced to leave that association and come to a place where there's no association, it means now you have to create that association first to your child and then to the around surroundings, and
I've
you
taught
have to open a center. And we will all stand for Chitra Gidwani Mataji to start opening a center here eventually by first starting for her child. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Last time. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
May the Lord empower Chitra Gidwani Mataji to open a center in the near future in 3, 4, 5 years' time. First, let her start for her child. Let her start teaching shlokas. Let her live the instructions and let her guide by living. And let her do arati whenever possible in front of the child. And let her give a small altar to the child, small photo or something for the child. And she'll do arati with agarbati. Child also will do agarbati or dhoop stick. She will do and child will do parallelly. So this
Yeah.
way, she can start introducing the child to do devotional service and teach her child shlokas, some short stories, and engaging. So she will open the center first for the child, and then child's friends, and then child's friends' mothers, and then the fathers will come into the picture, and then it will be a regular thing. Something like that. If it can happen, it will be grand. At least a
Thank
center.
you so much, Mataji.
Wish
I
you
hope,
all the
thank
best.
you for your blessing. It comes true. And my
Thank
baby,
you.
she says Ram. She loves watching Ramayana. She does Jai Shri Ram. She puts her hand up.
Oh.
Yeah, you know that Shri. She just Ram, Ram, Raman, like on the TV show in the Sony channel, the Srimad Ramayana. This year it started with the Ram temple. So she loves watching that show. If I don't put on, she
Oh.
points to the TV and she says Ram, Raman, Raman. She can't speak much. She's just 15 months old. She's learning few words here and there.
Yes. Yes, Geeta Mataji can go. Even we will go in a few minutes if so nobody has any other question. Don't worry. You're not going to lose anything. If there's anybody else who wants to ask, or shall we wind up the class?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for sharing this last point. And with that, so you pointed 2 points like we have to surrender and devotional service is very important. So there are so many devotional services and there are so many ways to surrender to Krishna. So what is the priority like? What is the like first service to devotional service we should do and what is the best mode of surrender, the way of surrender, sorry.
I didn't get it, Mataji. Was it a
मतलब
question?
अभी अपने 2 पॉइंट्स बताए रहे कि डिवोशनल सर्विस करनी है, वी हैव टू सरेंडर कृष्णा. सो जो न्यू कमर्स होते हैं उनको अगर हमें कुछ बताना है तो what should be the devotional service we should tell them, like the priority service, and what is the way of surrender. uh, there are so many ways of surrender, right? So that which one we should give them first.
Okay, that's the question. Which one we should give them first, right, Mataji?
Yes, so like they will ask like,
Yeah.
what should how should I surrender, or what is the devotional service I should start first, like that.
Okay, we don't use the word surrender to them. We just tell that you try to please Krishna by chanting daily one round. You come and attend here Krishna Katha, which we are discussing for your children. We are doing for children. You can also join. And we cook and give them very little prasad. Cook something, which is very easy but yet very tasty. And give it like in one donne, little, if you can give for a small 1 hour class per week. So what happens is, they will also come and say, I will also cook. Then we say, but it should be without onion and garlic. So we're teaching them, by asking them and feeding them, they will feel like doing something. So then you say anything without onion and garlic, you offer to Krishna and you can share it to everyone. You can say like that. And that way they will start doing things in the right direction. And then you have to say that if you are cooking, then it's always we cook first, take a bath, and then we cook, because it's for Krishna, no? That's why we don't taste. So we teach them cleanliness also. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So then we talk about surrender when they start chanting and they start following completely Krishna conscious life. Means whatever is instantly possible is chanting of the holy names. And it is told that by chanting of the holy names, one comes to Sattva Guna at least. So when one comes Sattva Guna, then philosophy can be given. Philosophy cannot be understood by anybody who is in Rajoguna or Tamoguna, because they don't feel like hearing philosophy, because they're totally in Rajoguna, outside, job, competition. They're not at all having taste to hear about the Lord. So for such people, we give them nice prasad, and we can give them some kirtan radio or something and say, you can hear this at leisure, you can hear. And then when they eat prasad and when they want to cook prasad, that time we tell them little bit that you should cook it for Krishna. You should take a bath and cook, then we accept. You can offer it and get it and give to everyone here. And if you will chant daily, then your everything will improve, like that. So you will improve as a person, you'll improve in your skills, in every way you get your knowledge by pleasing Krishna, by chanting. So everything, when we say, we can say you do this to please Krishna. Let's cook to please Krishna by giving him the offering, and we distribute prasad. That will be pleasing to Krishna. You chant because calling out his names, it pleases Krishna. So you chant to please Krishna. So we can use the word, but it will be just words only. They won't be able to do it to please Krishna. They may even forget about the word pleasing, but we have to keep telling them and reminding them. And we ask them to keep coming, and we show them love, and we say, you please come. We missed you last week. What happened? Why you didn't come? Like that. We show them love, and how are the 6 loving exchanges? Loving exchanges are giving prasad, receiving prasad, giving gifts, receiving gifts, and opening our heart and speaking to them what is right and what is wrong for their level, not telling about our personal problems by opening our heart to them. Our personal problem, we open our heart and tell to seniors who can help. But to these people, we open our heart in a way it looks like we're their close friends, so that they will also be encouraged to open their heart and speak to us. Because these 6 things make us develop loving exchange. So once loving bond is there, any number of times we call them, they will come. And once they start coming, then we just have to make them hear about Krishna in a nectarian way. We should study it, we should hear it, we should relish it. And what we relish, we should share. Then they'll get addicted to hearing about Krishna. Once they get addicted to hearing about Krishna, they come out of so many anarthas. Now, even for your daughter or for anybody, if they don't have a taste as much as even we have, we may be in anartha nivrti, but with some taste. They may be anartha nivrti with some taste. But if they don't have the taste that we have, that means they're not doing as much as hearing we are doing. And if they're not into hearing, we can ask them to speak about the Lord. Then they end up hearing or end up reading, and then they end up speaking. And that also will be helpful. And actually, you people made me do all that by inviting me for these classes in the beginning, first few years. Then, because of you all, and because of my father said, you are always talking only Bhagavad Gita. You should now start opening Bhagavatam, reading and giving classes. He was doing Saptahas, Bhagavad Saptahas. So he started telling me to also learn. Then I started learning. I felt the need to learn it under a teacher. Then I joined Bhakti Vaibhava course. And so today, you see, I'm feeling so nourished with that, and sometimes undernourished when I don't do enough of my studies. So I feel the need to study also. I feel the need to hear and things like that. So we should make them feel the need to hear. How? By our loving exchanges, and by telling them to do what they can do, and by encouraging them with whatever they're doing. So this way, you can start, and then Krishna will give you ideas. As like, suppose if while we do this, suddenly Govardhan Puja will come, then we will tell them, hey, we will celebrate a small puja. Then so everybody are welcome to cook and bring something now. We will do this. So who can come and decorate now? Who can get some flowers? Then they get ideas that I can decorate in my home also. I can decorate the Lord in my home as, and it looks nice, it feels good. And then we hear Krishna Katha. We can even make everybody speak Krishna Katha by making them hear carefully and then repeat. And when they repeat, they realize I'm not able to speak like that. Why? When you read and understand more, then you'll be able to speak like that. So we have heard so much that now we are able to retain something and say. So if we are not heard, we won't be able to speak so much. Like this, we have to make them understand. There's nothing wrong. You did a great job. So our appreciation is also going to help them to grow. And they chanting is the number one thing which brings them out of Rajoguna and Tamoguna, so that they'll come to the point of hearing. So bringing them to the point of hearing is the first step. And second thing is, throughout we have to keep appreciating their endeavors, no matter what endeavors they do. And second thing is, when they start hearing, you can also encourage them to speak by giving discussions. You can pick up something and you can allow them to speak, and we give a higher point. Then they'll feel, oh, okay, this I didn't know. Okay, how do you know? Because I'm learning from my teacher, so I know. So then, okay, then I also should learn. The desire to learn seriously should come in them. Once the desire comes to learn from seniors in a systematic way, then their whole understanding will get cleaned up. Plus your association. It's not enough just hearing from teachers like Gaurang Darshan Prabhu or Radheshyam Prabhu. Not just enough that way. That plus you who will show how you're keeping your house, how quickly you're cooking prasad, and how you're serving with a smile, how you're happy. So all that they're supposed to see. Then in addition, a brahmachari's class is enough. Their class is good to uplift, but they don't get idea of practical life, how it should be. For that, you are also required. So this way, when we give them a greed to hear, start with chanting, give them a greed to hear, and make our hearing sessions also as interesting and tailor-made for their needs, so that they get a desire for hearing, and then introduce them to better speakers who are our teachers. And that way, when their greed grows, then they become very nice devotees. Here today in call, I have Vishwa Thakur, and I have in call, I have Suchitra Sarvapriya Mataji, and in call, okay, today only two people. I think she left, Vishwa Thakur left. But these two people actually, they came to me from Facebook. They came to me from Facebook, and they were totally new, and they did not know much. The Suchitra Sarvapriya Mataji's daughter was in touch with ISKCON, and she was saying, and mother was not so impressed. But Vishwa Thakur is not even married. She's a young girl, and she was not aware of so much of ISKCON, except that they had given some donation and got some books, and nothing else they would do. They had their own temple. But you see, they are all getting addicted to hearing. Both of them are addicted to hearing. So our job is making them getting addicted to hearing. Then they will, when we don't speak, they go to others. They will hear. They'll get their food. Hearing food. And then once they're addicted to hearing, all other greed dies. It seems. My teacher had told how to see. Anger will be gone once you scream at someone or beat someone. Anger is gone. Hunger is gone when you eat belly full. Hunger is gone. Lust is gone when you have sex life. The lust is gone. But greed, it will never go. It will go on increasing. So for that, how can be greed tackled? Is you have to get addiction for hearing Krishna Katha. When you get addiction for hearing Krishna Katha, all the greed to indulge in everything else will be gone. But how to systematically hear Krishna Katha and how to develop the greed to hear, one more opening is to make them join into some course of 1 week or 6 days, or with the tests. So when they hear with the intention of answering a test, they'll be most attentive. They will read themselves. They will learn. So test is very important in hearing. And that means it should be a course with payment, wherein they write tests, they get a certificate. So this Bhakti Shastri, or even before that, smaller course like Discover Yourself, Radheshyam Prabhu's course, Stress Management, this kind of course also. Discover Yourself, I think, has some small questionnaires or something. So like that, if we can do something and we evaluate their answers and we appreciate their answers, or even you can only make it like a small test. You can only say this topic we covered. Now, when we finish one chapter, we are going to give a test, and test, we will see who is the winner, and we will give them a small book as a gift, something like that. These all ways you can use to develop greed of hearing in them, I think, Mataji. That's all is my idea now. Hare Krishna. Hope that helps.
Yes, Mataji, very helpful. Thank you so much. So chanting every day is the priority, should be the priority.
First thing, yes. Because only with chanting we come to Sattva-guna, and with Sattva-guna we end up hearing. And if we hear, then we start growing. And see, my husband was not able to do the hearing. because he was finding it little not of his taste. He likes politics. Now, those who are so much mad after politics, they
Yeah.
can't hear Krishna Katha. But once he started chanting one round, then I saw him hearing in lecture also nicely, attentively. He was hearing in temple also. So,
Mm.
so I now see, I mean, now for him, hearing lecture is not too difficult. He's able to hear, and he probably likes to hear, and he does not tell that. But chanting that one round actually helps. It will
Mm.
help any kind of person. And also, I have heard that one who daily hears Bhagavatam, daily, then all his anarthas will be gone, and then he will be able to come to the platform of doing devotional service with his own choice. This is what I learned. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Emotion. Hare Krishna. And Mataji, actually, the difference between you and your child is you are daily almost hearing this class by being an organizer yourself. But your daughter is not having time to do that. She has to go for her job. So the
Yeah.
benefit that you have, the taste that you have, she can never have because she's not doing your seva. If you give this seva to her,
Mm.
and ask her to do daily by hearing, and you should say you should be the your seva is you hear, and at the end you give a appreciation to the speaker, whatever is the class, whoever is, you should appreciate them by picking out the highlight points. Then she'll have to hear attentively, make notes, and then appreciate the speaker. No, then she will grow very fast in bhakti.
Okay. Yes, Mataji. Yes, I will try, Mataji. Thank you for the
You can try.
suggestion.
If she has that much time, if that's possible, you tell that now for some time will you do, at least for 2 months can you do that seva. Now that Mataji is gone to India, don't even tell her when she returns. But she'll come to know.
Mm.
But suppose you say that Mataji is gone, Rupipada Mataji is gone, and I find it very difficult to do everything, will you please take over that seva, and will you please do that, it will help us to. So like that, now we can give turn, one by one. Parents are here, their children's, they're having problem. One by one, these children, we should give them this role of organizing this class, and you should be there as substitute. If they're not able to do, then you should do. But if they do, and if they hear, and if they note down, and they appreciate, they do it a daily practice, for 1 month hearing Bhagavatam without fail, then they will not want to go back. They may give up this seva, but they will also themselves want to do something seriously in devotional service. This is what I feel, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, morning time will be difficult for her because of her work. But yeah, I will try.
If evening time Bhagavad Gita class, if it is there, if for that, if she can coordinate, and not coordinate, if she can just be in the class as one of the organizers, and she has to hear and she has to appreciate at the end with the main points, what was spoken, the
Mm.
main 2 points only she has to highlight and speak, or main 1 point has to
Mm.
be highlighted, and she has to say it in one line and appreciate the speaker. So if this much, if she does for 1 month,
Mm.
then there will be so much of a difference. That's the benefit you people are getting actually.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, we read every day Bhagavatam before we go to sleep with one of the another Mataji from New Jersey. So if that is also not possible for her, like Bhagavad Gita class, I can tell her like whatever we read today, you can just summarize one point like that, right, Mataji?
Yes. Somehow, if we can involve her in reading, yeah, even in reading group, involve her in reading also on a daily basis, Mataji,
Mm.
and she
Yeah,
should give the summary points. That's enough.
yes. Well, that we do Mataji every day. So yes,
Ah.
thank you
She
so much.
was she involved so far? No, na.
Yes, she also read Mataji with us.
She also reads with you
Yes. Like
daily.
since 5 years, like from 5 years now, we are reading Bhagavatam. So one verse every day, one shloka every day. So she's involved in that reading. But
Oh,
sometimes
very good, Mataji. Very good then.
in the Bhagavatam, there are like very sometimes sexual things and everything comes, and that time she says, "Oh, what is I'm learning from this Bhagavatam?" Like
Ah.
in we are reading now, I think seventh canto.
Hmm.
So that time, yeah, I will call you in personally sometime, and
No problem. No, Bhagavatam is the mother. It gives us everything. It's the essence of is the essence
No,
of the
there
tree
are
of
more
Vedas.
good things like that, but
Nigama
sometimes
kalpataror
the
darikampalam.
Rishi Munis, they are indulge in sex life, and they are just like some kings. They are doing things for the sex life. Yes. Like, so that time she says, "So what is this learning? This is so worse than Kali Yuga also." So
No, that's to show that everything is there in Krishna. Everything. That's why Kali Yuga people are having. That's all. It's not that Bhagavatam is not teaching anything. People are doing so abominable things. Maybe she is not aware. Maybe we are not aware. But things are happening. And it's happening because it's happening in the God's world. Whatever is there in Krishna, it's an inverted reflection. It's not a direct, straightforward reflection. That's all. It's a perverted, not inverted, perverted reflection. That is why Mataji, like how in Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter says, it's an inverted reflection of a tree. And otherwise, we use the word perverted reflection. All the things are there. So we see things in Bhagavatam, and that is not to say that what wrong we should learn from it, but those people also gave up all those things and they went back to Godhead. They also went back. I think Agnidra and Pura Chitti or somebody, I saw recently in 5th canto, I read it, I know. But the thing is, the whole purpose was that what is his family tree and, which child he got, and that child's child is Rishabdev, and then what was the learnings that we got. Like this, Priyamvrata's, in one of the Priyamvrata's, one of the sons does something like that. He gets attracted to heavenly damsel and things like that. It doesn't matter, it is not to, we should be in the mood of what I can learn from Bhagavatam. And another thing is Bhagavatam shows to us what we want to see. If we are wanting to see Krishna Prema and how to get Krishna Prema, it will show us that. Bhagavatam has everything in it. So if we are wanting to see that is Bhagavatam having some flaw, then it will show something looking like a flaw, but it won't be a flaw. So that is why reading like that on our own is good, but learning from a teacher and reading, so teacher will give us the understand like how we should see that particular episode. Why has that episode come? So then we understand the perspective. Otherwise, some questions of children we may not be able to answer, and children will keep the doubts in their hearts. So that is why you should say, now you have learned, now for 5 years you have been reading excellent. Now you join GV's Bhakti Vaibhava course, and you do start studying if possible. Only it's on weekends, only 2 days, Saturdays and Sundays. Then during the week, anytime you just cover up that much and prepare for exam and write, and it's going to be really beneficial. Like that, when the children study from those people, then they get their answers also, Mataji.
yes, Mataji. Yeah. Yes, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I think now the time is up, no?
Yes, Mataji. Sorry for the keeping you late.
No problem, it's all right.
Okay, so
We'll end the class now.
yeah, Mataji. Let's pay obeisance to all the Vaishnavas and Mataji. Vancha kalpataruvasya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam Vaishnava Namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अमृत मार्ग माता जी की जय। माता जी हरे
All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.